How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all well. Happy holidays to anyone watching this. Appreciate you and hope you all have a good holiday season. Happy New Year. And this isn't really going to be a silver video unless you wanted to think about the 1 ounce less of silver that I'll be able to afford due to my most recent trip to the supermarket. So I want to tell you the story about that and kind of share my thoughts and disappointment and what happened to me. And so yesterday, as a lot of you know, I ride a bicycle a lot of the time. So yesterday I did a few things, had a pretty busy day. Towards the end of the day, I took my bike across town to go to a big box store and try and get a Christmas present for someone. It's really like the last of the presents that I had to get. And I was happy I found something at a pretty good price, and it was a nice present, nice toy, and I picked that up and rode back. It's probably about 5 miles each way. It was a pretty good trip to the store. And so just on the way back, the last thing I had to do for the day was stop at the store to get some milk. So I went to Food for Less, and I go there pretty much every day. I know that probably sounds strange to some of you, but I go to the grocery store every day because riding a bike or walking, it's easier to carry small amounts of groceries and make more frequent trips. So I usually stop there every day. And so I go to the store I go to every day and go in there, and I'm carrying a few bags. I had this present that I'm talking about. I had some wrapping paper, a bag with cards. I had a loaf of bread from another store. I got a really nice loaf of bread at a different store. And I bring all that in. And there's a security guard there who asked me for my bags, asked me to leave my bags. So I gave them to her, and I go around doing my shopping and everything. Now, this is unusual. Like I said, I'm in there every day, and I don't think I've ever been asked to leave my bag at that store. I have had it happen at other stores, but this is the first time at this store, and I'm there every day. And a lot of times I carry stuff because I've gone and done my other errands beforehand, and that's usually the last stop is the store. So I'm doing my shopping, I get done, and I'm looking for this security guard. There's some other employees around, and I'm tempted to ask them to get my stuff because the security guard's taking a while. I just thought I saw her coming over to me, but she was going outside, and so I kind of go over and wait for her, and then I go back to the desk, and I'm about to ask someone else because it's starting to take a long time to get my stuff back. It's getting to be an inconvenience. So yeah, I see her coming in, so I wave her over or whatever, and she comes over and starts getting my stuff, and the bag with the toy is missing. And I said, "Where's the other bag?" And she doesn't know, and she's looking around, and so I'm like, "Well, what's going on? Where's my stuff?" And so she looks puzzled, and she's kind of looking around. It's just a little small area. There's no place that it really could be. And I'm like, is it underneath? Is it here? Is it there? No. So she looks, confused too. And so there's some other people and stuff. Nobody knows what's going on. And then the manager comes. He's there all the time. I've had, brief conversations with him before. He always seemed all right. And so he comes through, and I said, he said, "How you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'll be better if you guys got my Christmas present." And so he says he's going to check the tapes or whatever. And so I'm sitting there for a long time now with the security guard, and I'm kind of talking to her and joking with her a little, but she's like joking too. And I busted on her a little bit, like in a nice way, but I'm like, you're security. I mean, shouldn't you know where the bags are? You're keeping them secure. I mean, you took them from me. It's your job to keep track of these things and stuff. And she doesn't know what's going on, and you can tell. So I mean, I'm pretty nice to her about it, but I did kind of let it be known that I was disappointed with the whole situation, and what a hassle it was, especially where I don't drive. I mean, the present was it's a $20 thing, and it stinks to lose $20. But on top of it, it's just the fact that I was so happy that I got the present that I needed. I was done with my Christmas shopping, and here it is now that I'm going to have to make another trip back to a store. So besides the money, just the inconvenience and now the pressure to find a gift again for someone. And plus the fact that it was their fault. I mean, if I carried my bags, I would have still had my stuff. I turn it over to their security, and you would think security's job is to keep things secure. If I can do it, they're professionals. You'd think she could handle it. So Anyways, I'm there for a long time, and now this manager guy, he calls me up and wants me to look at the video footage with him. And so I look, and he's got the thing, and he says, do you know this woman or something? He's got some lady on there, and I guess she steals my package. She gets one of the other employees and gets him to come over and look at or come over and give her the bag or something. And now she only took the bag with the toy in it, and this thing was like kind of poking out of the bag or whatever. It was a little big for the bag it was in, and the other stuff was junk. It was like wrapping paper and a couple Christmas cards or whatever. But so she took the bag with the toy in it and had a different employee come over, like a cashier, and come over and give her the thing. And now while I was waiting over there talking to the security guard, the girl did come over and ask if I'd been in there with the woman, and I said no, just me. And so it turns out she was the one that gave it to this lady. And so I say, no, I don't know her, and the guy is kind of like, well, what's funny about this? And I'm thinking, yeah, haha, real funny. You guys gave away my Christmas present. Like basically they stole my Christmas present and gave it to some scammer or whatever. So, real funny. But, he's like trying to, be all suspicious about it. So what's funny about this is that she's on the cell phone, and, as soon as you walk in, she goes over and she knows what's in the bag, and she asks the person and describes what's in the bag and takes the bag. And I'm just thinking it's not that funny, and so I said to him, this is BS or whatever. I don't swear. If you noticed in my videos, I don't curse. I try to lead by example. And I think in general, cursing all the time is pretty ignorant. So I've stopped, and I don't really swear. But in this instance, I did curse for dramatic effect than anything. And I didn't like swear at the guy. I wasn't being belligerent to him. I just told him, I think this is BS. I give this thing to one of your employees, and come in here and it's gone. And so then he gets on me about swearing, and that, first thing I need to do is control my language or something. And I said, I'm pretty sure it's justified in this case. And he says, it's never justified. And so I'm thinking, what's never justified is giving my stuff to some other person. And just kind of disappointed. And I don't want to make this like a personal thing on this guy because I've seen him before. He's probably an all right guy. But I'm just pretty disappointed with his way of handling it and his management skills or lack of empathy with the whole situation. Because so I'm talking to him some more, and I tell him, I'm in here every day, and this guy knows that. And I said, and I bring my bags in because I ride a bicycle. Nobody ever takes my bags. I never lose my bags. So the one time that I give my bag to somebody, it disappears. And so he's telling me that they don't want the bags in the store, but they do it as a courtesy. And I'm thinking, real courteous of you, you let me in with my bags and give them away to somebody else. So I told him, I said, if you don't want my business, I can take it somewhere else, but I don't think it's really going to affect your store, and I don't think it's going to hurt you. And it's probably going to be more of an inconvenience for me because you're the closest store to me, and that's why I'm in here every day. And the guy basically agreed with me that it's not going to hurt their store if I don't shop there anymore. And I understand the concept of, they say, cutting off your nose to spite your face. And basically, if I make a big thing and decide not to shop there anymore, it's going to cause me more problems. The store doesn't care about my business. And that's one of my problems with these big businesses. And so he doesn't care if I shop there or not. And for me, it's easier to shop there because I don't drive. So I don't have much choice. It's either shop there or go 4 or 5 miles every time I need a gallon of milk. So I let him know I'm really disappointed with the whole thing, and that it's more so the fact of the present than anything else. And he's like, he was kind of funny about it. And I said, I got better things to do than try to hustle your store for 20 bucks. And the way he's handling it is like almost in a way where he's like putting it on me. Like, do I know this lady? And it's funny because this and that. And I'm like, do you really think I'm going to buy a Christmas present and then know that the security is going to take it off of me for the one time that it's ever happened, and then have some lady go over there to like steal a $20 Christmas present so we can get another one or something? It's ridiculous. So he tells me basically to like itemize what was missing or something, and then he'll give it to his manager and see what they can do or something along those lines. And I'm like, well, do you want to do it right now? I mean, I can tell you what it is. And so it has to be in writing, he tells me. And I'm like, well, so, I mean, do you want me to write it down, or what do you want to do? And so I pull it up on my phone and I show him the receipt or whatever, like the debit on my bank account for the item that I got. It was like a $20 thing. And so he tells me that he can't just do that. It has to be on paper. And so I asked him if he's got an email, do you want me to send it to your email? And he tells me that they don't give out their email address, which is ridiculous. Again, this is Food for Less. It's Kroger. And I mean, you're not going to give a customer your email address. That's like ridiculous. So he tells me basically that I have to like print it out or write it out or something and bring it to him. And it's another big hassle for me. Over $20 and their mistake. And the thing that really gets me is nobody sincerely apologized. Like the security guard's got no clue what's going on, and I'm like, shouldn't you be out like trying to figure out what's going on, or stopping some shoplifting or doing something? And she just doesn't know what's going on. And I guess she's new at it, so whatever. But this guy's like the big shop manager, and he can't even just make like an executive decision. He has to run it by his boss on a $20 thing. I mean, it's crazy. So when I go out, now this goes on, and so finally I go out, and there's some chick out there that kind of looks like the one on the video. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not the security professional or whatever, but some chick's out there asking me for money. And so I go in and say, hey, is this the one on the video? So the security like slowly comes out to check it out. And then she tells me she's not sure because she didn't see the video. And again, it's like, if you're security, don't you think you'd have access to the video? So I guess only the manager had watched the video. So she goes up and gets him, and they very slowly come down and, go out there real slow to check it out, but the person's gone. Oh, and here's the one that really gets me too, is so when this guy's talking to me and he shows me the lady and she's on a cell phone and he says, the funny thing and this and that. And so I start to tell him, there's this chick in like a white jacket or whatever. There's another person who's right by the door when I'm coming in. And he tells me she's not involved. She's nothing to do with this. But I'm thinking, like, how do you know? I mean, if you know what's going on, then go get my thing. If you know where it is or who has it or who was involved. Because I'm trying to tell him there's somebody standing by the door, like clocking me when I came in. And there's a good chance what's going on is somebody's watching who's coming in with bags and calling in on a cell phone to tell this person who's in there already. It was like one person's watching and calling in, hey, there's a bag with this and that, go pick it up, because security was taking the bags or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But so this guy cuts me off like as if I'm an idiot when him and his store and his staff just gave my bag to someone else. I go in there by myself. It's only me. If you take a bag from me, it should only go back to me. I know some of these stores, I've seen them where they've got like systems with like numbers, and so they'll number your bag and you hold on to like a ticket and change it in and all that. It's ridiculous that you have to do that. And I understand it's some kind of a scumbag that did this. It's like an organized thief or whatever trying to, they're in there ripping off bags. So I understand it's like a problem with society and that they've got these people trying to rip off the stores. But as a customer, I shouldn't have to worry about that, and either let me keep my own bags or do a better job of keeping track of what's what. And then when something happens and you handle it in like a manner where it's like disrespectful to me, the customer, it's just really insulting and frustrating. So I leave this place, and so I come back, and now I like print out like a bank thing that has the charge, the original charge. Then I ordered one off of Amazon, and I paid pretty much an extra $5 for the same item. I'm hoping it's the exact same item. It seems like it will be, but it was just a little bit more expensive, and then I paid for overnight shipping because I want to make sure I have it for Christmas. So it wound up being like 25 bucks, so it's an extra $5. So I printed that out to them as well, basically just to show like this is what I lost. I already replaced it, and because I told them it's going to be a hassle for me now. What do I got to ride across town again on my bike to go and get a Christmas present that you guys lost? And see, I've managed the store before, and at that point, as me being the manager of a small business, I would have told the person, you know what, relax, I'll get you one. See, if I was this guy who most likely drives, I would have said, wait here, I'll get it and be back in 30 minutes. For me, where I don't drive, I would have personally told the customer, don't worry about it. Come back tomorrow and I'll have it for you. And on my own time, I would have gone to replace that item for the person. And that's what I appreciate about some small businesses as opposed to some of these big box stores that don't care about your business, don't need your business. And the people there really have they've got no personal responsibility. So this chick that lost my bag, or the manager that's in charge of her, um, they've got no personal responsibility in this, and they don't feel any kind of obligation to do their job right. And that's what really gets me is I feel like this guy should have just offered to drive over there and get one and replace it. Um, so anyway, so I ordered the thing. I printed it out, showing him, look, I've ordered another one. Here's the one, the receipt for the one that I lost or whatever. And gave him my business card with my phone number on there and everything. And he says that they'll get back to me tomorrow, which is going to be today. And I haven't heard anything from him yet. And it's not so much the $20. I'm not going to go and follow up on it. And I'm going to make this video. If anyone from Kroger or Food for Less cares to send me a message, do so. I'll respond. But I'm real disappointed with your business practices and just your lack of customer service. And I'll tell you, I shop there every day, and I like the store for the most part. I like the employees for the most part. Even this guy seemed like an all right guy, but just the way this whole thing is handled, disappointing. And I shouldn't have to worry about losing my Christmas present when I go shopping at a store. So it just really gets me, and you see it a lot with these big stores, and it's like whoever you're talking to, they're really not in charge. If they lose your business, it really doesn't affect that person. They're all following policies and protocols and procedures. Not so much with like the supermarket, but with other stores and other companies. I've dealt with people that are basically working for the computer, and they're just doing what the computer program tells them to do. And it can be really frustrating when you're trying to explain like a common sense issue to someone, and they're just stuck on whatever their policy or protocol or whatever the computer tells them to say or do. And it's just terrible. So, I mean, I'd like to see more options. Like for me, I don't have a lot of options as far as where to shop. And like I said, for the most part, I like the store. And it wasn't like the employee took the thing. It's somebody's in there trying to do something bad, and they got away with it this time. But it's just really frustrating, and there's really no options unless you have like a farmer's market or something, and then you're going to pay a lot more for the same stuff. But I think in a lot of ways that's better. And it's just too bad that we don't have more small businesses and can do business with people locally that might actually care or appreciate you, or work to make sure that you're happy. And I'm really easy to please. It's like this time I'm just frustrated that I went in there and got a present stolen from me. But just seems like the right thing to do would be to, fix the problem instead of, let me see what I can do and we'll put in a request or something, whatever they're doing. It's ridiculous. You would think as the manager of a giant store, you could make a $20 executive decision and best case scenario, go over and replace that thing yourself. So whatever, just real frustrated with the store and the way that they handled things. And I realize I've got no reason to complain. You know what I mean? I got a bunch of presents already. I'm sitting here crying over, a Christmas present that's really not needed. It's not like food or water or milk. And I'm grateful to have all those things. And I understand it's a really minor issue. And I just kind of wanted to voice my displeasure because I see these things happening more and more frequently. And it's like, I think you should speak up sometimes so it doesn't get worse, because otherwise it's just going to be these big companies that don't care. And whatever they do to you, you really have no recourse. So it's a minor thing in the grand scheme of life. And I don't really care about the $20, and the present's really not a big deal either. But I just hate to see things going that way. And I do kind of wonder what's going to happen if you go into a bank someday and they just say, hey, you don't have any money here. And what if you did? What are you going to do? Or there's a lot of situations like that, but pretty much like there's nothing that you can do. So these big companies and big stores have all the power, and it's just getting more and more so. And it's frightening in some ways. I mean, imagine that scenario. You go into your bank, you've got, I don't know, $1 million in the bank, and they just say, hey, you've got no money here. We've never seen you. The computer here says you have nothing. There's really not much you could do. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on it and stuff. Here is a little silver. What I'm going to do for Christmas is there's a couple people, the adults, and I'm going to just put a couple things like in the Christmas cards. So I've got like a little quarter ounce there's like a little 1/4 ounce silver bar, and just gonna put that in a card because I can't get gifts for everybody, and at a certain age and stuff, I don't think it matters so much. So just gonna give them some small silver pieces, and hopefully it kind of makes them think or whatever. If they don't like it, oh well, maybe it'll make the Christmas card a little more interesting. It's a worn out barber dime. But yeah, just gonna throw a couple small things in some Christmas cards. And well, that's all for now. Thanks y'all for watching, and I hope everyone has some great holidays.